undefeated record going on the road, taking on Kentucky, who's lost a couple on the road the last couple of weeks. Kentucky still got a couple of good weapons on offense. They're going to be tough at home. Auburn is a 6.5-point favorite. Tom?
Auburn will win.
Stephen?
War Eagle.
All right, and let me tell you, one of my gut feeling is way off the board this week. Alabama and Auburn, I get a feeling, are both going on the road, and I hate to say this, getting beat this week.
Really?
Yeah. Auburn is a 6.5-point favorite. Bama is a 6.5-point favorite. They're both on the road. My gut feeling tells me that Auburn and Alabama both go down tomorrow. South Carolina's running back goes for 213 yards on the Tide, and they win 24-20. That's just what I had.
Prognostication.
Did you have this in a dream? I mean,
he's a stat guy. Can you tell?
And Georgia rolls Tennessee by like 26 points. Okay, but let's go back. I'm taking Auburn. I got to take it for Debbie Hart, even though I think Kentucky's going to win. I'm taking Auburn. Brad. Yeah, I can't because last week she goes, you picked Auburn to lose to South Carolina? That was 2 weeks ago. I went, yeah. So, Brad?
Well, Kentucky is always a spoiler. I mean, they really are one that you really have to watch out for.
You're not going out on a big limb here if you pick them this week, I'm telling you.
And I'm telling you, my gut feeling tells me Kentucky because they're playing in Kentucky.
Right.
And I'm going to give them the home field advantage. I'm going with Kentucky because, honestly, I think that it's one of those games that, if nothing else, I guarantee you Auburn's not going to cover that spread.
Not 6.5. No, and I'm thinking
they're not going to cover that spread.
I'm thinking Kentucky too, but I'm taking Auburn. Bobby?
If I do not pick Auburn, my preacher's going to throw me out of church probably, so I'm going to pick Auburn.
Is he watching right now?
I have no idea.
Okay. Let's hope he is.
He'll get it somehow.
Let's hope he is.
All right, LSU actually has a better record than Florida. Nowhere good a team, I don't think. LSU at Florida, the Gators are 6.5 to 8 points, I believe, favorite. LSU after that miracle against Tennessee, and Florida getting hammered by the Crimson Tide last week. Tom, what do you think?
Les Miles' deal with the Devil's going to run out this time. Florida's going to win.
Like I told LSU is the worst coach team in the country. Stephen?
I agree with Tom. I think Florida all the way.
Yeah, okay.
That made me sick to my stomach.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Hey,
Bobby's a Bulldog fan. Okay.
All I got to say about the Gators, 31-6 last week.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Brad.
I'm definitely going Florida because if you can get routed like they did last week with Tennessee and then just let Tennessee give it to you, okay, Florida all the way.
Bobby?
Yeah, I'm going to take Florida.
All right, clean sweep.
Now, I know that hurts to do that, but you got to.
Yeah.
Clean sweep for the sick. Go ahead.
Sometimes you think with your head, not your heart, right?
There you go.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, number 1 ranked Alabama goes to South Carolina. The Gamecocks lost to Auburn. They had a week off, like 6 of Bama's opponents in the SEC have a week off before they play the Crimson Tide. It's not fair, but deal with it, and we will. Alabama opened at 7.5. It's now down to 6.5. Crimson Tide. Tom?
I think Alabama's just got too much.
Stephen?
I have to disagree with you, Rick. I think Bama's still going to keep that winning streak going.
I got a gut feeling they're going down, but
you can't pick against
them.
No,
I'm taking the Tide.
You know what?
But just remember, just in case, I think Alabama hadn't given up 100 yards to a running back in like 3 years.
Dude.
I get a feeling this guy's going for 200 tomorrow.
Okay, here we go. Alabama got a couple of grown men in the backfield.
I know.
All right? They full-grown studs in the backfield. Bama going to stomp on South Carolina.
And Alabama's got a brilliant kid at quarterback, too.
There you go.
So, Brad, you going with Bama?
You know it.
Bobby?
I'm going to go with Alabama because South Carolina, that quarterback has to be perfect. And that's not going to happen. So I'm going to pick Bama.
Yeah, you're right. He's got to be perfect in this one.
Now, when he is, they're tough. But I don't see it happen. I think Bama will still roll.
All right.
But if South Carolina wins this game, they storm the field, tear down the goalpost. All right.
Absolutely.
One more is going to be heard on Mix 100.9. Coming up tomorrow, the Tennessee Vols, who voluntarily put 13 men on the field.
We volunteered to give a game away to LSU last week.
What I loved it, 2 of the players went running to the bench and changed their mind and went back out on the field. That was the best
We're going to stop you at the goal line even if we have to put extra men on the field.
Georgia opened up at 12.5. It's now 11. And, Tom?
It's bitten me 4 weeks in a row, and I'm
too.
going to go for 5. Georgia.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Stephen?
I'm picking Tennessee. I just don't have any faith in Georgia's players this year. I think they're not focused.
That
I
coming
think,
from a Bulldog fan.
I think Mark Richt is doing the best he can with what he has, but you can't really make them. I mean, it's tough. It's tough with what he has to work with this year. So I'm going with Tennessee.
Georgia comes out tomorrow. They look like a completely different team. Why? Because Mark Richt's going to lead them out of the tunnel.
Yeah, that's going to make a difference.
They're still going to get their
the
butts
real
kicked.
reason they're going to do better is they're going to let them play without the ankle bracelets. So that'll speed them up a little bit, and we'll be good to go.
Bobby! Boom!
I love it.
Oh, wow.
That's great.
I think Georgia looks like a completely different team tomorrow and turns the season around. They beat Tennessee by 26 points. I'm going with the Bulldogs.
I hate you so much.